Okay, I just turned off Monday Night Raw, and as usual, I'm up here to give you guys my review on the show for the WWE RAW edition of August 11th, 2014, the go-home show to SummerSlam 2014, brought to you by your boy, Alyx. As always, subscribe, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, check out my second channel for tributes and mashups, as well as SummerSlam 2014 hype videos that I and other artists, visual artists over YouTube have created on my Alyx V2 channel. And also check out Wrestling Paradise. I'm doing some new stuff with Preston on there, so check out everything down below in the description box. But with that said, when it comes to Raw tonight, I really don't know how to feel about it. I don't know if I hate it or dislike it, or enjoy it or love it. I don't know. And guys, when it comes to your boy, it makes it easier for me being a wrestling commentator when a show is either really good or really bad, because I can do both without really thinking about it. But when a show is dead center in the middle with stuff that I really like and stuff I really hate, it makes it challenging for me personally. And right now, I can't decide whether it's more bad than good or more good than bad. Maybe I'll come to a conclusion at the end of this review, but right now, I'm in the middle. And this is going to be one of those reviews that your boy is just going to have to do his best and make it entertaining for you to watch. Like with the opening segment, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. I like this. I mean, you had Heyman go out there and tell Cena, hey, you beat Brock Lesnar when he was at 50% at Extreme Rules 2 years ago, because he had a disease that I wasn't aware of that apparently caused him to leave or retire from UFC. But Lesnar is back 100%, and because of that, Lesnar's going to beat Cena at SummerSlam, which is cool. And then he did some kind of a rap, telling Cena that he's going to lose to Lesnar in different type of ways. And I like it. I liked Heyman's rap. So to me, the opening segment was good. I enjoyed it. I just love hearing Heyman talk. Maybe that's just me. And then we got freaking Corporate Kane coming out to confront Roman Reigns. And yeah, Corporate Kane is back. Can Kane just retire? Please, I mean, he has nothing left to do. I hear they're trying to bring in the See No Evil character, which to me is just like, oh my god, that sounds so stupid. I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to be around to see how it plays off on TV. I don't. I really don't. But that seems to be the direction they're going in. Roman Reigns was put in a handicap match against Ryback, which, by the sound of it, shouldn't be all that interesting, and it wasn't. The match ends in a DQ. Ryback apparently disqualifies himself by beating up Roman Reigns to the point where the referee had to disqualify them. But it means nothing because Reigns just beats their ass anyway. He comes back making a huge Superman comeback that we all don't like Cena for, and he just beats them. And this is something I'm going to address. Might as well do it now. I was going to address it later, but why not? Roman Reigns to me is starting to get that stigma of an unrelatable character, because I like him, and don't get me wrong, I think the guy is cool, but the booking of him being this strong is starting to turn me off a little bit. Because it really doesn't seem like this guy has a struggle. I like the fact that he's dominant, but the wacky booking isn't helping him. To me, if you're going to do this, why not have him just beat Ryback? Why have him lose? No, not lose. He won by disqualification, but it felt like a loss, excuse me. But why have him get beat up by Ryback when it doesn't mean anything? That type of stuff just kind of makes you go, what's the freaking point? I like Reigns, and I want to see him get to the top. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say he is the next John Cena, but he has a stigma of Cena that I don't like. And if he continues, I'm scared the crowd will eventually turn on him. They're not going to do it right now, but the same reaction that Cena is getting, Reigns will eventually have if the WWE isn't careful enough with him. Because they're giving him a rocket boost to the moon. He is going there, whether we like it or not. That's a problem. Maybe we shouldn't push him so hard. Let's take our time with Roman Reigns. And this is why I tell people that as much as you want him to be the main eventer, the guy, the face of the WWE, we should wait until not only he's ready, but the crowd is ready for him. And I don't think the crowd is ready to accept Roman Reigns fully yet. And if you push him so fast when the crowd is not ready to accept him, you're going to end up ruining him way before he hits his, his prime. That's my thing. I will say, his promo was nice. I liked his promo after the match with Ryback. I like that he talked about how he never stole anything from Orton, but he's taking everything away from him at SummerSlam. I like that. And he's going to knock Orton's teeth down his throat and turn him into a worthless little worm. I like that. I like seeing Roman Reigns not confined by the script. He's starting to put his own personality into his character. And you can tell because it feels organic. So do more of that. I want to see more of that from Roman Reigns. And maybe, just maybe, if we get more of that, fans will accept him just a little bit more where we can give him that rocket push. But right now, maybe we should hold back on it just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'll get more to that when I talk about Orton and Reigns tomorrow in my preview. But anyways, we got Seth Rollins versus Rob Van Dam again. WWE, seriously. Can we change up our matches a little bit more than we are? We've seen Rollins and RVD I don't know how many times in the last 2 months since Rollins has turned heel. There has to be someone else on the roster he can face and have a good match with. And he's beaten RVD each time. Granted, was it a good match? I'll say it was solid, but when you get the same match, despite it being good or great, over and over and over again, it starts to lose value. An apple tastes good, but if you have an apple 5 times in a row, you're going to get sick of an apple. That's a bad analogy, but you get what I'm saying, right? So he beats RVD again, and then he goes upstage and starts messing with the presents. And then he comes to a big present. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, this was celebrating Hulk Hogan's birthday. That's why there are presents on the stage. My fault. I forgot to mention the big Hulk Hogan celebration. My bad. But for real, that's why there are presents on stage. Anyways, there's a big box, like a big human-sized box. And Rollins is messing with this box. And I'm going, what is he doing? Why is he messing with this box for? Why do we... And then it dawned on me. Oh, yeah. Ambrose must be in there. And see, this is where me being a long-time smart fan kinda hinders me from enjoying segments like this. Because he's messing with it, and he's messing with it. I know you're in there! I know you're in there! And Ambrose pops out and attacks him. Like, well, I guess he was in there. And then they brawl, then Rollins runs away, and Ambrose chases after him. And I go, that would have been cooler if Rollins never would have brought attention to the present. He's just going upstage, he's celebrating and stuff with a briefcase in the air, and then Ambrose pops out the present and ambushes him. That would have worked better for me. Instead, Rollins brings attention to the present making everybody believe that Ambrose is in there, and he was. And it was like, oh. You know, that's just stuff about me that some of you might find annoying. Like, oh my god, just enjoy Deluxe, man. Sorry. It's a curse. It's a curse, you know. As a reviewer, that's just a part of me that I have to live with. Stuff that you might enjoy, I kind of see like that could have been done better. I would have done it this way. And I can't escape from it. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that this was bad. I actually kind of like this. I just feel like it could have been done better. That's all I'm going to say. Oh yeah, and I'm not going to really talk about the Lumberjack match stipulation until tomorrow when I do my preview of SummerSlam. But I will say this. It's not the match I would have chosen. I would have done many other things, but I will get into that for my preview. So, check out my SummerSlam 2014 preview tomorrow for my thoughts on that little stip. But I will talk about this stinker that we had tonight. Oh my god. Okay, first off, those of you who don't know or have not been watching my videos, I have been a big advocate of Stephanie and Brie Bella's feud. I have loved it since Payback. Since the night Brie Bella quit on Stephanie and slapped her, I have been all over it. I knew then that they were going to have a match at SummerSlam, and they did the angle with, you know, Stephanie getting arrested, the jailbird stuff, Brie coming back and getting a match with her, Stephanie slapping the lips off of her into the freaking Raptors, and then the next week, this past week, they did the whole contract signing, and then Stephanie pedigreed her and her sister, the stuff they've been doing to her sister, Brie's sister, Nikki. It's awesome! It makes sense because it's a play on Triple H and Daniel Bryan, but with their wives. However, their wives aren't using their husbands. It's a feud on its own, and I was excited. I was ready. I'm like, this is gonna be one of the best matches at SummerSlam. And no, not because, you know, I think Brie and Stephanie could put on a classic match. It's not gonna be a classic match. It's gonna have bells and whistles. Expect interference, and I'll get more to that for my preview. Anyways, I was excited for it. I was ready. So when I heard Stephanie was gonna do a confession tonight, I'm thinking in my mind, you know what would be cool? If WWE took the angle where Daniel Bryan stopped a burglar that was very popular on the news for a while, and then said something like Stephanie and Triple H hired two guys to go mess with Brie and Bryan and rob their house. I would have laughed my ass off. And not only that, I would get behind that. I would be like, you dirty dog, you, how dare you? Because it's funny, and it's smart, because it plays on, you know, real life stuff. And it also is capitalizing on the news, which is something the WWE should do more often. But, oh no, that's not what WWE does. Why do that? Instead, let's do something that almost makes me wish Stephanie and Brie stayed off of TV. You know what? No. I actually do wish they have stayed off of TV this week, because this was stupid. Stephanie comes out, she brings out a woman named Megan, who just so happened to be Daniel Bryan's physical therapist for healing, and then she applies, or just tells the world, that Bryan and her are having an affair. Bryan is cheating on Brie with this heifer, and it's stupid because, first off, compared to Brie, Megan looks ugly. I'm not saying Megan is ugly. What I'm saying is, in comparison, why would Bryan cheat on Brie with this woman? If she was more attractive, okay. But she's not. So, strike one, no. Two, why would you go this far? This feud did not need this at all. We did not need to go this far. Why are we Claire lynching, TNA reference, excuse me. Why are we playing up the idea that Daniel Bryan is an unfaithful husband when he just got married to Bray not that long ago, right after WrestleMania. Within months, he's already cheating on her. What the hell? This is dumb, and yes, I know. It's scripted. It's not real. I understand that. But it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, in your mouth, that they would even do this with Daniel Bryan. Hell, because Brie went out there, she slapped Megan, and apparently she got arrested for it. It all came back in full circle. Stephanie got revenge on Brie. Woohoo. And I'll get to that in a second too. I got the idea that it's scripted. And you know what? Maybe it would be a lot more easier for me to swallow. Though bitter, I could have swallowed it if they did this segment backstage with Megan and Stephanie, and apparently Megan has hired help and she never really cheated on Daniel Bryan. Okay, then I can say, alright, she just screwed over Brie. In that sense, I would have let it go. We didn't get that. We got a straight up, Bryan is cheating on you, and Brie lost her mind, and she got arrested. And you left on a bitter, very down note. And you just go, wow. So you take this real life thing with Bryan and Brie, and then you do this to it with stupid, bad, terrible. My God, what the hell? What the hell, man? Oh, Daniel Bryan's a G. No, that's not who he is. His TV character would not do that. You know damn well that doesn't make sense with his TV character. It doesn't. At freaking all. I hated this. I hated every single thing about this. Everything up to this Raw involving Stephanie and Brie, I have absolutely adored. But this crap almost turned me off from it. This was stupid. Anybody, the guy that came up with this should be fired. Fired. Immediately. Absolutely bad. The worst thing on the show. Definitely. Then we got Jack Swagger versus Cesaro. As soon as I saw Swagger go out there with his entrance, and then Cesaro already standing in the ring with no entrance, I knew then Cesaro was going to job, and he did. Swagger beat him with the freaking Patriot Lock, and I shook my head and went, man, months ago, around WrestleMania, that would have not been the case. What the hell happened? Why did WWE just decide we're not going to push Cesaro anymore? I don't get it. Seriously, what happened? What did... You know what? I'm not going to get into it. Anybody that's someone with a brain knows that Cesaro is a much viable talent than Swagger. And let's be real. The only reason people care about Swagger right now is because of this angle with Rusev. If he wasn't involved with Rusev, nobody would give a crap about him. And when he's done with Rusev, no one is going to give a crap about Swagger. I'm sorry, I like the dude, I think he's a good wrestler, and I'm happy they turned him face, but I don't see WWE staying with it afterwards. And to be honest with you, I just don't think Swagger really connects with the audience enough. I think the idea that he represents USA is more over than Swagger is. And that sounds mean, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like Swagger isn't quite grabbing us. I think the angle is grabbing us more than Swagger is. And we'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. Regardless, the idea that we're using Cesaro to put over Swagger right now is just laughable. And WWE knows they're screwing up with Cesaro. When they decide to wake up with this guy and actually push him, let me know, please, because I don't know what to say about this. This is kind of just whatever. It's almost like they told Cesaro, hey man, we got nothing for you, so go out there and make people look good. Whatever. Okay, let's get into some good stuff. I'm kind of done talking about the bad stuff. The stuff with Chris Jericho and Bray Wyatt, their interview, I liked it. And the reason why I like it is because, although it didn't quite explain why Wyatt hates Jericho, it did. He talks about how he hates that Jericho is perceived as a savior by many and really can't save anyone, or in Bray Wyatt's mind, is a bad savior. And Bray Wyatt thinks he's more of a savior than he is, pretty much. And Jericho responds, I'm not a savior. I'm a survivor. And at SummerSlam, I am going to survive you. And it was very intense, and both of them were very passionate. And this promo did something that their other promos didn't do. They let it be known that these guys have tension. I felt the tension between them. And for me, it was enough to make me want to see their match at SummerSlam. Now, am I going to say it was one of their best promos? Like, it was their absolute best that they can do? No. I still think they can do better. But for now, I will say that this did more for their SummerSlam match than anything they've done in the last few weeks. So yeah, check it out if you haven't seen it. AJ Lee fought Eva Marie. Paige came out, cost her the match. Kind of very nice promo. She rhymed it too. Everybody's a freaking rapper today. But AJ beat up Eva Marie afterwards because she went crazy after getting screwed out of the match. I would go crazy too if I lost to Eva Marie. And then we get, to me, if not the segment of the night, the second best. John Cena comes out and cuts a promo. Wait a minute. Did Deluxe Man, yeah, this is his channel, did he just praise John Cena cutting a promo? Yes. And I'll tell you why. Usually, I wouldn't support Cena. I'm one of the main people in the crowd chanting Cena sucks. Not because, it's a cool thing to do. I'm just sick of seeing him. I'm sick of Cena and the character. I'm sick of WWE putting all their eggs into this Cena basket and not trusting anybody else. I'm sick of that. And the way the WWE puts Cena on this high pedestal and makes him a glass ceiling that nobody can pass unless it makes me not like the character as much. But despite all of that, this promo was a great reminder of why I used to be a John Cena fan. This promo was fire. It was great. It was magnificent because Cena got serious. He came out, he addressed Lesnar why he did not want him to win the championship, because he doesn't respect it, he's not going to be around to defend it, and he doesn't care about anybody but himself. Which, to me, knowing John Cena's character, it makes sense. He should feel that way. He would feel that way. A guy that really doesn't give a crap if WWE goes under the next week, he's going to be their champion. And that bothers Cena. It should bother Cena. And then he tells the crowd that, look, I know I come out here and you guys want to see me turn and show you a different side. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give you that different side at SummerSlam. Because to beat a beast, I have to be a beast. And it gave this big fight feel to his promo. And then he calls out Lesnar, calls him a punk ass bitch and stuff. And I'm sitting there going, Cena is on fire tonight. Oh my god, where has this Cena been? And when Cena gets into this mode, nobody can touch him. Alright, in moments like this, if the WWE was to say Cena is one of the best, I would be like, yeah, he is. I can't argue with that, because this is great. This is great stuff. I just wish he was more consistent with it. He only does it when he's serious, and I guess when the feud calls for it, I don't know. But, man, this is great. And one of John Cena's best promos he's got this year, without question. It got me excited for their match. we got Heath Slater versus Dolph Ziggler. Heath Slater beat Ziggler because The Miz interfered and he beat him by countout. And I'm sitting here and going, oh my god, Heath freaking Slater is going on a winning streak. And fans are getting behind him. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on here? Why are fans getting behind Heath Slater of all people, the resident jobber of WWE? I don't get it at all. And people tweeting me on Twitter, well, he's a great talent. When was he a great talent? I mean, okay, hold on. He's always been a good worker. Okay, I will admit that. But, oh my god, people were not saying this when he was a jobber. Now all of a sudden he's winning. He's a great talent. I want to see him more on TV. And I'm thinking, whoa. 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 Really? Really? Are you guys just being funny? Are you? Just let me know. Because I don't know. I'm still kind of shocked that Heath freaking Slater has wins over Seth Rollins, has eliminated Cesaro from the Battle Royal, has beaten Ziggler, has beaten Stardust, Goldust and Stardust on freaking main event, apparently. I don't know what to think about this right now. I'm very confused. Anyways, next is Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I didn't care about this match. Did you? Probably not. Randy Orton got fed to Sheamus. No, actually, Sheamus got fed to Orton. Excuse me. Just to warm him up for Reigns on freaking Sunday. Orton beat with an RKO. That was about it. I didn't care about this match. I'm sorry. Also, people are asking me, Deluxe Man, did the WWE drop the New Nation? I don't know. I hope not. I hope that it's just being put on hold until after SummerSlam. Because if they did drop it, they're idiots. Seriously. You have an angle here that had people talking. That people were invested in. That people wanted to see what would happen. And the only reason why the WWE would drop this, well, the only two reasons is, number one, they got cold feet. And two, they aren't very creative and they need to fire their creative team. Seriously, because if you can't come up with anything involving these three, and I can, and you're the professional, you should be fired. Seriously. However, I'm not jumping the gun on that because apparently I saw Kofi, Big E, and Xavier during the Hogan birthday party, and they were all wearing similar attire. So I'm not going to say the angle is dead yet. I think they're just holding it off until after SummerSlam. I'm going to wait for a week and then maybe do a video ranting or something about them dropping the angle. Hopefully it's just on hold. Hopefully. But speaking of Hogan's party, we had a ring filled with a lot of legends to celebrate Hulk Hogan's party. We had Mean Gene Okerlund, we had Jimmy Hart, we had Ric Flair, we had Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, we had Roddy Piper, we had Big Sexy Kevin Nash, we had Scott Hall coming out as the NWO, and then Hogan came out with the NWO shirt. I went, guys, look at this. This is the generation that I grew up with. This is wrestling before it became the corporate shell that it is now. Used to be so much fun. Now we spend most of Raw plugging the freaking network for $9.99. Whatever. I didn't let it bother me because I was enjoying this. It was a good trip back to the past. And just when it was getting really good, Brock freaking Lesnar comes out and I lose it. I'm thinking he's going to destroy everybody inside the ring. He's going to pummel Hogan. He's going to pummel Flair and Orndorff and Nash and maybe not Scott Hall. Maybe not even Hogan. But, you know, he was going to beat up somebody. And I was ready. And then Cena came out and I was like, alright, they're about to brawl. They're going to brawl. And then he walks away. And I'm like, that That's not cool. You teased it, and then you didn't let them touch. You know, I would have had them brawl, but that's just me. I understand why they didn't touch. You want to save the match until SummerSlam. Okay, I get it. So I'm not going to complain about it too much. I still enjoyed this. To me, the highlight of this show was everything involving Lesnar and Cena. Everything involving Lesnar and Cena was the best part of the show. Everything else, I can't really say was all that good. Maybe Rollins and Ambrose. Maybe Jericho and Bray. Yeah, Jericho and Bray was good too. So, Cena and Lesnar and Jericho and Bray. Maybe AJ and Paige. Definitely not Stephanie and Brie. They were terrible this week. So it all depends on what you prefer from this episode. I guess for me, this is a middle of the road show. Some good, some bad. I can't decide if it was more bad than good or more good than bad. It's right in the middle. And as you can see, I spent 30 minutes talking about this. And see, guys, this is what happens when we get middle of the road shows. I just talk more. I want good shows where I can take 10 to 15 minutes to tell you guys this is why it's awesome. Or bad shows to do the exact same thing. But when it's shows like this, I kind of ramble. And I apologize if this was long. Hey, if you sat through it, I hope you enjoyed the video. But again, check out my preview for SummerSlam 2014 tomorrow. And check out my hype videos on Deluxeman V2 with other visual artists. Thank you guys very much, and this is your boy, Deluxeman, signing off. Comment down below, and I look forward to seeing how you felt about this episode. Catch you later.